as well. So in Lake Macquarie over the last 5 years, we've lost about 35% of all our manufacturing jobs. So this is not only a problem for startups, but it's also a problem for existing large businesses. So we've been putting our mind to this project for about 2 years, but how could we solve this risk associated with building product? And I realised we needed some partners. So we reached out to Ampcontrol, who are one of Australia's largest electrical engineering companies. I said, can you help me with mentoring these startups and trying to reduce some of that risk? And they said, not only can we do that, we'll put 20 engineers in the space, we'll put a couple $1 million worth of equipment in the space, and we'll actually help them build physical prototypes in this building, which you'll see today, which is amazing. And then I reached out to Dantia, who's the Lake Macquarie Economic Development Company, and said, I need a space. So Peter found the space, and not only have they given us the space, they've also given us all the industry connections that we need to succeed as well. And really our job at the Melt is to bring the capital and the know-how and mentoring to that. So we're quite a large team to make this work. Then we reached out to the federal government and said, please give us a little bit of money. And the great thing is they've put in a small amount of money in comparison to the total project, but without that money, we certainly wouldn't be here today. And one of the reasons Malcolm's here today is that that pool of money was in the National Innovation and Science Agenda. It was a small amount of money. It's only $20 million in that total pool originally, but without that money, we certainly wouldn't be here. And to Malcolm's credit, he probably set that up in the first month of his Prime Ministership. So there's a lot of vision in his thinking there. So the next step is then, how do we actually run this process, right? So we've actually had to develop a whole new way of building product as well. And we've taken some of the learnings in Silicon Valley and some of the learnings that we've done building software startups and applied it to engineering. We call that process the 4 Ps, because there's a bit of marketing in it. The first one is prove. Can you prove that your idea is actually going to work and we can build it? The second P, which is prototype, which is the important one in this space, is can you physically build a prototype in this space? And the answer, excitingly, is yes. Then can we pilot with customers? And then can we produce it at large scale globally? And we actually have partners internationally that can help our startups grow. So that's really exciting for startups coming in to have that support. The next phase was, what we'd usually go out to corporate Australia and the Hunter Valley and say, can you support the Melt with sponsorship and the usual? And they actually came back to me and said, what we'd really love to do is use the same process for our own ideas that you're using for startups. So we've actually got a whole bunch of corporates in Australia that have got these ideas trapped inside their businesses that they want to get out. They don't have the expertise or the time, or just generally business as usual gets in the way. So they're putting projects through as well, and Cubes that's here today are one of the first projects that are going through this space as well. So it's not only for startups, but it's also for corporates, which is exciting. And then university students have also approached us and said, can we get real world work experience? So we're excited to announce today we're launching our industrial experience program for undergraduate engineers. So we'll embed them into startups and industry from day one of their degree. And so that when they graduate, hopefully they've got real world experience, and hopefully our startups can grab that talent and keep it here in the Hunter Valley as well, which is really exciting. So I suppose to wrap up, we've got this great skill set in the Hunter Valley, this ingenuity around mining, energy and logistics, and that's why the Melt is here. We're really building on the strengths of the Hunter Valley. Hunter Valley is well known for really exporting big things. We've exported 1 billion tonnes of coal, billions of tonnes of steel, and really what we're trying to do is really export that next big idea from the Hunter to the world. So thanks for coming, and I'm looking forward to the tours and catching up with you all after the event. Thanks.